Before this video starts, don't forget to like and subscribe.
I'll wait.
Thanks! Now onto the video.
You would think by this point, after the utter dross the last couple episodes have been, I would get used to it. But no, Velma keeps finding new ways to be so bad.
Episode 7 is about Velma trying to stop the serial killer from ruining Fogfest whilst complaining about male privileges. And episode 8 is an abomination to mankind.
Let's just get on with it. Episode 7 begins with Velma trying to figure out what does Jinkies mean and why her mom left it for her to find.
How did her mom know she was going to find that specific piece of paper?
Good question. Anyway,
It was just dead end after dead end after dead end.
she's unfortunately not dead, but is doing a customary fog puzzle to ask Aman out to Fogfest.
But what about the serial killer?
Turns out the principal blabbed to the police that her mom is a ghost and the true killer.
Surely that cannot be taken seriously.
Not a serial killer. It's the ghost of Dr. Edna Purdue. And curfew can't stop a ghost, Velma. That's just basic physics.
This, I don't even have to explain how stupid this is, but the police have lifted its curfew because, and get this right, because they can't stop a ghost. Are they high? Ghost or no ghost, 3 women have been murdered, so why does believing the killer is a ghost now mean the murders are going to stop?
Because we need a reason for the entire town to be at the pier for the rest of the plot to happen, even though it makes no logical sense.
It's funny that the police realize that the killer, even as a ghost, is still out there, so their brilliant solution is...
Look, you're not the only one worried about curfew ending, Velma. Which is why no girl will be admitted to Fogfest without a date to protect them. Smart, right?
Wait, girls have to have a date? Great, so Fogfest is not only dangerous, it's sexist too.
What is your issue? You hated the idea of Fogfest happening, so why do you even care? Also, she said it had to be a date, not necessarily a man.
This begins the theme of Velma's hatred for men in this episode.
Meanwhile, Fred is forced to try and win Fog King or else he will be disowned and kicked out of the house. We cut to the school where Gigi is being forced by her friend to dump not Shaggy.
He ignored you when you almost died from a bee sting, and his grandmother is 100% a ghost who's killing our friends.
I know, but I still wanted him to ask me to Fogfest.
Gigi, ghosts are scary, but nothing's scarier than a world where we're not together. Will you go to Fogfest with me?
What?
I'll have to think about it.
Why do girls have to be so confusing and contradictory when they are talking about what they want? Just tell me yes or no so we can move on with our day.
Whoa, someone's talking from experience.
Anyway, later we get an explanation on how the plot device, the fog, and how it works.
No one loves celebrating all the crazy stuff that happens in our fog more than you. From entering the fog in one place and coming out another, to thinking you see a monster in the fog, only to realize it's just someone you know holding something weird. You even like how things can somehow farcically switch places in the fog.
Maybe ghosts do exist if water vapor can do this.
Later, Fred tries to get a date for Fogfest.
Go to Fogfest with me, please.
Stop throwing money at my face! No, Daphne, Fred's really asking me, and I'm supposed to be scared. He's back into basic hot girls who work out and wear non-candy jewelry.
Oh, if only that were true, my buttery little beach ball, but I am asking Daphne.
Huh?
Are you actually laughing from watching Velma? It seems the brain damage has worsened worse than I could have imagined.
No, it's just anytime Velma's fragile ego is burst, it just brings a smile to my face.
We're off to Fogfest.
Have fun. I'll just be here alone catching the serial killer.
It's a ghost. You know what? I'm not going to let you ruin my fun.
Why are you taking your newborn baby, a very big baby mind you, to an event where the whole town is going to be, magic mist, and hello, a potential serial killer could be on the loose?
Velma decides to stay behind to try and solve what Jinkies means. Also, Daphne drinks now because calculating.
Great. The stupid writing has broken Pixel's processing chip. He may be stuck like this for a while.
Calculating.
Moving on. Velma figures out that Jinkies has a connection to one of her mother's crime stories she wrote, having something to do with invisible ink. So logically, she puts the note up against a normal lamplight. I repeat, a normal lamplight. So surely it works.
Error.
Oh great, now his logic drive is broken too. Velma calls the number, revealed to be the serial killer's number, and Velma figures out that they are at the Fogfest. Because obviously, so Velma has to sneak into Fogfest since, you know, she's fugly and can't get a date. So she decides to become a man, hence beginning the worst series of quotes uttered by a single character in animation history.
Oh my god, that was amazing! Guys put zero pressure on you to wash your hands. You've clearly studied dance for years, and yet any bozo can take over a dance floor just by doing the work. Wait a second. As a guy, everyone thinks my worst qualities as a girl are awesome. And as a man speaking authoritatively, you are going to listen to me and you are going to believe me. Holy crap, no wonder men are so desperate to hold onto their power. This is the easiest shit ever. As a guy, I can do anything.
After Velma sneaks in, she finds the serial killer who didn't put their phone on mute because how can you anticipate Velma's superhero?
No, I can't die. Sylvie's gonna put a treadmill in my room.
Aww, Pixel would have loved that.
Calibrating. I sense that karma finally caught up with Velma.
Nope, she survives, but maybe she got a concussion because she believes.
Well, at least I seem to have scared the serial killer away from Fogfest.
What did you do to believe that? Are you that delusional? Oh, but look, it's about that time.
Time for what?
Time to scrap the plot because it's time to envy men.
Oh my god, that was amazing! Guys put zero pressure on you to wash your hands. Curfew cannot end because the serial killer is still on the loose.
That's what my daughter's been saying. But for some reason, I believe it more from you.
We all do.
Holy crap, no wonder men are so desperate to hold onto their power. This is the easiest shit ever. As a guy, I can do anything. I wanted to tell you I was Manny, but as a guy, there's so little consequence for your actions. I was like, I'd be an idiot not to at least try and go for it. Baba Booey!
So Velma explains how men have it easy and that people would like her better if she was a guy. Spoiler alert, people don't dislike you because you're a girl, they hate you because of your shitty attitude. Drunk Daphne explains why she is drinking.
I'm drinking because I've had a terrible couple of weeks.
Okay, so I'm adopted, and I located my birth parents, but they turned out to be criminals.
Why wouldn't you tell Velma? That, super cool and attentive bestie you mentioned.
I've tried, but unless you're helping her find her dumb mom, she has no time for you.
I'm sorry, but is that bigger than... No, you're right. A good friend would have been there for you even if your thing wasn't worse than her thing.
Even now, Velma can only think of herself.
However, they get interrupted by Fred, who reveals that Manny is actually Velma because he has been fully turned into a simp and could tell it was her from when she slapped him earlier. Since Fred needs to be Fog King so he can be undisowned? Reowned? Allowed to go back home, he tells everyone that Manny was Velma, but instead, Fog King is given to Not Shaggy, who pushed a girl into the river and saved her. Next, Gigi goes missing, Not Shaggy goes to look for her, Velma and Daphne share a moment before being interrupted by the killer, leading to a terrible and contrived mess of a chase scene involving all of them. However, it does lead to my favourite moment of the entire show.
Norval, stop! Going through doors like this isn't physically possible!
Oh God, you're right! My entire perception of reality is crumbling!
Wait, no, it's just a ride.
Of course, they could not go without insulting the source material.
Look, an old-timey photo booth. We can disguise ourselves.
Daphne, that's stupid. It will take at least 5 minutes to change. Who would ever stop to put on a costume in the middle of a chase?
Shoot, the serial killer disappeared in the fog.
Yeah, but by fog rules, he still has to be nearby. Wait, Fred has his phone?
See what I mean by a plot device? Because the writers wrote themselves into a corner and needed an easy out, and they did not know how to write a good story.
Realistically, every episode after this should be null and void because they should have all died right here, right now. How unfortunate.
This only happens so they can get the killer's phone.
Oh, Damn, girl, how'd you get all that ass in those little slacks?
The episode ends with Fred being kidnapped by the killer, even though it does not fit the killer's established MO. Why? Calculating.
No, we are not doing that again. Episode 8 is such a mess, it doesn't even deserve a proper review.
So, here are the Cliff Notes version.
Velma explains she was displaying toxic personality traits even when she was younger. Velma doesn't show sympathy when being told a fellow classmate, Fred, who has been nothing but loyal towards Velma, is missing, even though Velma knows a serial killer is nearby and probably the root cause of his disappearance. We cut to Daphne and Velma stuck in a hole.
Then, the flashbacks begin.
Good lord, the flashbacks! Velma somehow finds a way to ruin every narrative device it uses.
Wouldn't you agree that the strongest use of flashbacks on TV is when one character's flashback is intercut with another?
I like it when they use a title card with the character's name when they cut to a different flashback.
Now that feels lazy.
It's stylized. It's Tarantino.
What is the incident?
This joke only works if you did the opposite. You don't get a pass for calling it out beforehand. It just makes you look stupid. I'm getting major deja vu vibes right now. From now, I'm only gonna say the important stuff. Fred has been locked up by the killer with living brains. Daphne uses a black light to see the killer's password and finds the killer's secret hideout in the woods.
As a fellow communication device, I feel violated.
That blacklight would have been useful earlier, and how can you tell the password is 1234? There are literally thousands of possible combinations, but no, it's 1234 because, let me not go on. Fred flirts with the brains thanks to his feminist beliefs. Velma upgrades her toxic traits and fakes a hallucination to force Daphne to go with her to look for her mom. Gigi leaves hints for Not Shaggy that she wants to get down and dirty, but because men are incompetent in this show, he doesn't notice and asks if they can use Gigi's cabin in the woods. Very convenient. They all meet up in Gigi's cabin and Not Shaggy tells Daphne that Velma lied about having more hallucinations. This causes Daphne and Gigi to leave, but they are stuck on a cliff edge near Gigi's cabin. Also very convenient.
Gigi said there was a cave down in that ravine, so we came out to try and see if that's where the serial killer was hiding.
But then the outcropping started to break off under our weight.
How stupid can you be?
Velma one-ups her stupidity, causing all of them to fall down the ravine, somehow not dying and explaining how they are all in this hole to begin with. They are stuck because of a rock and Not Shaggy pulls out a homing beacon, which he has for some reason, but they are not saved because they aren't rich or white. The white privilege quota has been fulfilled once again. So they decide the best course of action is to kill one of them, allowing room for the others to escape.
I vote Velma.
I second that. The movement causes a second collapse where they definitely should have died this time and land them in a cave near where Fred is kept hostage. Also very convenient.
Maybe we're both too messed up to be friends. It's clearly not working.
I think you're right. So maybe it's time we try being girlfriends.
I don't know what to even say about this. What do you even mean? If anything, you two clearly need to have a restraining order put on each other because you are terrible apart and worse together. They hear Fred, who is having a three-way hookup with the brains, and easily bust into his room. He escapes, screaming, causing a cave-in, but Velma wants to stay and find her mom. Velma falls down a third hole but is saved by her mom. Where did she even come from? She is totally the killer. Like, she has to be the killer at this point. They escape in what is obviously going to be the mystery van in the most unrealistic way possible. Hours later, the authorities arrive and credit Fred for everything because we gotta double down this episode on the whole white privilege thing.
Finally, we can find out who the killer is.
Mom, you still haven't told me who did this. Who took you?
I didn't tell you yet. It's... I can't remember.
Oh, you son of a you mother are gonna make me waste another week watching this in order to get a closure? Nah, you, Mindy Kelling, and this show. Cola out.